Oh, top of the morning to ya, and welcome to Almost Martha. I love the Irish accent. I don't do it very well. I know I'm probably going to offend some people, but I do love it. I love to listen to it. It's just lyrical and beautiful, and it's almost St. Patrick's Day, so I'm going to be making something today. Oh, with the Irish in mind. Oh, I just love the accent. We're going to be making a cake you've seen all over the internet. It is a Guinness stout chocolate cake with a beautiful cream cheese frosting. That's what we're making today. I don't care if my accent isn't good. It's just fun to do. So hang with me and my subpar Irish accent, and let's make this cake together. I've turned on my oven to 350. This is a really manageable cake. It's one layer and it's got terrific icing on it and it's deeply chocolate. So we're just going to do a little prep work first. The one thing that it requires that I could not find was superfine sugar. And some grocery stores have it, some don't. So I just took granulated sugar. I put it in my blender and I blended it so that all of the sugar crystals are nice and fine. I didn't take it as far as powdered sugar, but almost, so just be careful when you're doing it. But that's a great way to get your superfine sugar. So in here I have 2 cups of what is now superfine sugar. And we're gonna start preparing our pan. So the first thing I'm gonna do is butter the pan, so I'm gonna spray it with some jam, because this cake is going to come together pretty quickly. And now we're going to put a pastry round of some parchment paper right in the bottom of the pan. That'll make sure it doesn't stick and we lose some of our cake, at the bottom of the pan. We'll just put that aside. So to start, this recipe starts on the stove. So we're going to need a stick and 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Now, there is a recipe out there that has double that amount. It's like 2 sticks of butter and 2 tablespoons. That's a lot of butter in just a 1 layer cake. So I'm trying the New York Times recipe, and we'll see how that does. Looks beautiful. So that's 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons, and then a stick of butter. You don't have to worry. You can pull it right out of the fridge because this is going to go on the stove and we're going to melt it on the stove. So I'm using that really nice Irish butter. So we've got Kerrygold in here. Yeah, aye. So that'll be true. That's 2 Irish ingredients in here. We're also going to add, this is cocoa powder. This is a lot of cocoa powder. This is a deeply rich chocolate cake. So we're just going to melt the butter. We're going to add the cocoa in and stir it in. And then there'll be a few other ingredients that we stir in after the butter melts. So off to the stove. So if you've never, poured Guinness before, let me tell you, you got to have a lot of patience. So you can pour it along the side, but you're always going to get sort of a big head with Guinness. If you've ever had Guinness in a bar, it takes several minutes for you to get your pint because that rich, creamy, thick top, you have to wait for it to go down before you add more Guinness to it. So it can take a long time. So it's a good idea to kind of do this a little ahead of time So you've got the right amount of Guinness in your cup, and what we're looking for is 1 cup. So I used to be a bartender in an Irish bar. I've poured many a pint of Guinness, let me tell you. So it just takes some patience. Guinness really is delicious, and there's a lot of stuff about Guinness that you may be surprised to learn.
It almost sounds like folklore. A man takes on a rundown brewery in Dublin and creates one of the most recognizable drinks on earth. But Arthur Guinness was no legend. He was very real, and every pint poured today carries part of his legacy. In 1759, at just 34 years old, Arthur Guinness made one of the boldest business decisions in history. On the last day of the year, he signed a lease for a small, struggling brewery at St. James Gate in Dublin. The term of that lease? 9,000 years. Guinness was not built on luck. Arthur Guinness was obsessive about quality. Records show he carefully tracked every stage of the brewing process, how much malt was used, the temperatures, and the timing of every boil. That attention to detail would become the foundation of the Guinness brewing tradition. The stout that made the brewery famous became known for its creamy head and smooth texture. Though it appears almost black, Guinness is actually a deep ruby red when held to the light. Today, ordering a pint of Guinness is practically a rite of passage for visitors to Ireland. For decades, Guinness was even considered something of a health tonic. Doctors once recommended it for anemia, exhaustion, and recovery after illness. Hospitals were supplied with a special invalid stout, believed to help patients regain strength. Modern science no longer prescribes stout as medicine, but studies have suggested Guinness contains antioxidants and compounds that may help reduce blood clotting, similar to what's found in red wine. Guinness is also responsible for another global phenomenon, the Guinness Book of World Records. The idea began after a pub argument in 1951 about the fastest game bird in Europe. To settle debates like that, the brewery published a reference book of record-breaking facts. From one ambitious brewer to a global symbol of Ireland, Arthur Guinness didn't just create a beer. He created a legacy that continues to flow, one pint at a time.
All right, I'm going to add my Guinness to my butter. It's foaming up again in the pan, so we'll just let that butter melt. And then, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I may try to, I don't know. It's warm. Not that they like things all that cold, but we'll see. Maybe I'll take a taste later. I used to really love it. And it's good for you too, right? So there you go. There you go. So now we're just going to let this melt before we add in our cocoa and our sugar to this mixture. My butter melted, and I just took that off the heat. Now I'm adding in my cocoa. I'm also going to add in my sugar. This is my 2 cups of superfine sugar. Now we see why it needs to be super fine, right? We want that sugar to melt into that chocolate. Put that to the side, and we're gonna just put another mixture together in another sort of medium bowl. All right, in our bowl, we're going to be adding sort of the wet ingredients. So I'm going to have 2 eggs, which I'm going to break on the side there. We have 3/4 cups of sour cream. Just going to put that right in our bowl. Get to the last drop. I'm just gonna do this a little bit before I add it in. And we're also going to add some vanilla. So I have my vanilla bean paste, which I love. It has a really nice vanilla flavor. We're going to add in. Oh, I always like a little more of vanilla in there. And now we're just going to mix this together. Actually, I think this is going to do a better job. Okay, got that. See all that vanilla bean in there? Looks good. Now we're going to add our Guinness mixture to this mixture. We're just going to whisk that in. Looks so beautiful and rich. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Super, super chocolatey. Wow, 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 wow. Love it, love it, love it. Hope my bowl's not too small. Okay. Now we have flour, and we have 2 cups of flour, to which we're going to add some baking soda. We're going to add 2½ teaspoons of baking soda. About time for a new box. I've been baking a lot of cookies. 2½ Okay. Now I'm just gonna take a knife and just kind of mix that together. All right, now I'm gonna add my flour mixture. Just a little bit at a time. I think a slightly bigger bowl would have been. Oh, well, it said a medium bowl, so that's what I thought I got. And I think it'll be okay. That smells so chocolatey. Love it, love it. So every St. Patrick's Day, I think of my cousin Ben, whose birthday is on St. Patrick's Day. And I also think about those crazy days so long ago when I worked in the Irish bar. St. Patrick's Day was like, it was insane. It was totally insane. You would just kill yourself all day long. Never made so many Bloody Marys and popped so many beers in my life. Corned beef and cabbage. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was really something. My friend Diane. Hey Diane, happy St. Patrick's Day. My friend Neil, who didn't work there but visited. Hey Neil, happy St. Patrick's Day. And we had a good time, but it was the most exhausting day, as you can imagine. We were right in the parade route. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. That was, I am a cat. I am Laura Leopard. That was like life number 3. I've had many, many lives, many lives. And I've never been to Ireland. So one day we're going to go to Ireland where I can really get to hear all those fabulous accents. Just walking down the street. Really, if I just love it. If somebody has an Irish accent, I could just sit and listen to them all night. All right, here we are. Didn't even need a big blender for this. This really came together pretty nicely, pretty easily. Let's get that last bit in there. And now we're going to pour this in our prepared pan. And we're going to bake probably for about 45 minutes. It says 45 minutes to an hour, likely 45 in my oven. But that's the next step. So here we go. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. There it is. Man, that's going to be a beautiful thing. Okay. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. Don't be afraid of the Guinness. Doesn't overpower anything. Oh, that's good. All right, I'm going to put this on a pan just to sort of protect that bottom too, and then put it in the oven and then start my timer. All right, so I pulled the cake out. They said to have it be kind of hard. It definitely is. It sunk just a little bit in the middle, but that's okay. So now I'm going to let this cool for just a few minutes, and then I'll get it out of the pan. I'm going to let it completely cool, though, before we go to the next step, which is to make that beautiful white icing. So the goal is to create the look of a glass of Guinness with this cake. So you've got that nice dark color on the bottom, frothy, white, icing on the top. So it's going to be really good. And I also have my cream cheese sitting out so that it can come to room temperature for the next step. So now it's just all about giving it time to cool. So it's cooled down. The bottom is still very warm, but I think we're okay to sort of work on our icing. The top seems pretty cool, so that's good. So we're going to use a food processor. How easy is that? And we're going to start with some cream cheese that's at room temperature, and we have some confectioner's sugar. I'm just going to put the confectioner's sugar in the bowl. That is 1.25 cups of confectioner's sugar, and we're just gonna break up any lumps in there. All right, great. Now we're going to add our confectioner's sugar. And I'm also going to grab 1/2 cup of heavy cream, which we'll use to get the consistency that we want. Okay, we may not use it all, but we have it if we need it. Now I'm just going to put the cream cheese into the food processor. And away we go. Add a little. We want to make it smooth and spreadable. And that's what this will do. Oh, it's going to look nice and frothy, just like the head on a Guinness. That's great. All right, I'm just going to try it out. Oh, I think that's good. So I'm just going to reserve this. I used about half of that because I think this is super spreadable the way it is. You don't want to get it too runny. So just kind of gauge as you go. How easy is that? Cream cheese, no butter. sugar, a little bit of cream. Oh, this is going to be a good cake. Now, our goal is to make this sort of reminiscent of a pint of Guinness. And that means we are not going to ice the bottom. We want you to be able to see the bottom. That's going to represent the Guinness. And then on top, we're going to have this lovely fluffy icing. Oh, how exciting is that? Oh, yeah. So I'm glad I didn't add all of that heavy cream in. Reserve just enough to make it nice and spreadable, which this certainly is. So there it is. There it is. I have to say, you know, in the pictures of this cake, the icing seems about twice as tall. So if you want that kind of look, then you can just sort of increase this a little bit. Just add a little more powdered sugar, add a little more cream cheese, just to kind of bulk that up at the top a little bit. That had to be what they did in all of those photos. So just saying. But I think I'm going to be good with this. I like a little icing, and this is really good icing, but I really like the cake. That's what I really like. So I think this will be perfect for us. But that's so nice about baking for yourself. You get to adapt it and make it just like you like it, right? Just like you like it. You want more chocolate? You could add chocolate chips. You could do what, I mean, just, you know, it's what you make. It's what you do. It's what you like. And that's what makes this a real beaut. Okay. Well, I hate to cut into this thing. It's so pretty, but I have to taste it, right? So, okay, let me cut into it. Look at that magnificent thing. Gosh, that is just beautiful. That is just beautiful. Okay, here we go. I'm going in. Going in. Now that is what I'm talking about. That is really darn amazing. Oh my God. I'm just going to keep eating this. Wow. That is so good. You got to make this. You saw how easy it was. You didn't even need a real, mixer or anything to do it. This is just, this is so good. This is so good. Yay. So if you want this recipe, you know what to do. Just go to almost-martha.com. We're going to find this and all the other recipes that I've done. Gosh, I hope you try it. I hope you give it a try, lads and lassies. Let's give it a try for old St. Pat's Day. What do you say? Well, thanks so much for coming by, and I hope you try it. And I hope to see you here next time, right here on Almost Martha. I'm just going to keep eating this. Oh, it's so good.